technologies make lousy parachutes.
All right, welcome to the Lone Wolfer Garage. As always, I am your host, the Lone Wolfer, and we are in my garage. However, we are in front of this tarp because it is covering my ugly ass garage door, and I'm trying to class this up just a little bit because this is actually a video response to SHADETREE Surgeon's top 5 motorcycles that he can't buy. At the end of his video, he reached out to other vloggers and said, hey, if you want to make a top 5 vlog of the bikes that you can't buy, do it, and then tag me in it. And yeah, it's a terrible impression of him, not even close. So yeah, I am making a top 5 motorcycles that I can't buy, but I want. And I decided the minute he put that call out there that I was not going to take this seriously. There's enough people out there that are going to take this seriously and put all types of awesome motorcycles that technically at one point you could have bought. But I decided to go with bikes that nobody can actually buy. So what are my top 5 motorcycles that I can't buy? Well, that nobody can buy? Well, number 5. Number 5 is Hagrid's flying motorcycle from the Harry Potter series. In the books and in the first movie, it was a 1959 T120 Bonneville. He came flying down on that thing and, came to a skidding stop. Little baby Harry Potter nestled up against his chest. First movie, they do use a 1959 Bonneville. But in the Deathly Hallows, they changed this over to a Royal Enfield Bullet 500 with a sidecar. Now, the one that I actually want is the one with the sidecar. This thing was awesome. It has a sidecar. It flies. If you have a dog or some other pet, you could throw them in the sidecar, put some goggles on them, and it'll be awesome. And then it shoots spells out the tailpipe. That's amazing. It's like a magical Bond motorcycle. That's definitely number 5 on my list. I don't care if it's the Bullet. I don't care if it's the Bonneville. Just as long as it shoots spells out the tailpipe. All right, number 4 on my list of top 5 motorcycles that no one can buy, that's going to be the Dark Knight's Batpod. It was just like, you thought, oh, this is going to be it for Batman. He's going to die inside that Batmobile. And then all of a sudden he just cranks out this Batpod, takes off, and goes after the Joker. Yeah, don't get me going on how he just decided not to run the Joker over and finish the movie, but that doesn't make drama or proper conflict, and the movie would have been over and it would have just been a crappy mess. But whatever, he goes flying through the streets of Gotham. He's blowing up cars. He's just taking everything out. He ends up shooting a grappling hook into the front of that freaking semi, wrapping it around a bunch of light poles, flipping that thing over. It was pretty rad. And our first sight of Batman in Dark Knight Rises is on the Batpod, and that scene was freaking awesome. So yeah, number 4 of the top 5 motorcycles that nobody can buy, for me, Batpod. Number 3 on the list of top 5 motorcycles that nobody can buy is going to be Dredd's Lawmaster. I know, I looked it up. It's a Suzuki GS750 with an extended chassis, but it's not going to be the Lawmaster.
I am the law!
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that was in the comics, and then the one that they created from the visuals in the comics for the movie Dredd with Carl Urban, who is awesome. Watch The Boys. He's just awesome. That scene when he's chasing those freaking guys down in the freaking van, they end up killing a pedestrian, and he says, I'm taking him out. And he takes him out, and it was awesome. And then he freaking tells the motorcycle to perform crowd control, and it starts telling people to do stuff, and it's awesome. But yeah, so that's actually number 3 on my list, right above the Batpod, only because it looks more comfortable. They're neck and neck right there. Honestly, 3 and 4, they can interchange. All right, now we're down to the top 2. The last 2 motorcycles on my top 5 list of motorcycles that I can't buy, that nobody can buy. And this one is hard. This one is really hard to choose a 1 or a 2 between these 2 motorcycles. You're also going to quickly see the link between pretty much all of these if you haven't already figured it out yet. But yeah, number 2. I'm going with it. Number 2 on the top 5 list of motorcycles that I can't buy, that nobody can buy, is going to be Ghost Rider's Hellcycle. Who wouldn't want a motorcycle that's wheels are on fire? That burns the road, that can drive up buildings. It can drive down the wall of an alley. It can do all of these ridiculous things, and it's on fire the whole time. It's on fire. It's amazing. The movie did not do it the best justice, and Nick Cage is a little weird and probably shouldn't have been the first choice for this movie, but it's what I got for a visual. And yeah, that's number two. Number two on my list, Ghost Rider's Hell Cycle. The thing is amazing. Its wheels are on fire. Enough said. That brings us to number one. What is number one on my list of top 5 motorcycles that I can't buy, that nobody can buy? If you've been following along, you may have figured out that there's a link between all of these. There's a trend. They're all comic book or literary based, a little bit nerdy. Now, this might make you think that you know exactly what I'm going to say next. And you are going to be 100% correct. Because number one on my list is Kanida's motorcycle.
We get to meet Akira again.
Akira?
How can that not be number one on my list? That motorcycle is amazing, not only in the manga, but in the anime. If you love motorcycles and you've never watched Akira, you are missing out. It's about a motorcycle gang who fights other motorcycle gangs in a technologically weird future. The story takes place in Neo-Tokyo, set in the futuristic year of 2019. Yeah, a little weird. It's 2021. Just accept it. It's in the future. 30 years after the Japanese have nuked Tokyo to cover up experiments on children. And it follows Kaneda and his motorcycle gang as he battles other motorcycle gangs, creepy politicians, mad scientists, all kinds of weird stuff to help save his friend Tetsuo. You gotta go watch this movie. You gotta find it. I believe right now it's on Hulu, and it is just a magnificent film. If you like reading comic books or graphic novels, track down the manga. It's worth reading. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. It is an absolutely fantastic example of manga and anime. It influenced a generation of people to go ride motorcycles, including me. I know I don't ride anything quite like that, but I definitely give it its credit. So there it is, my top 5 motorcycles that I want but I can't buy. Well, nobody can buy them. So that's Hagrid's, specifically the motorcycle with the sidecar. That's the Dark Knight's Batpod, Judge Dredd's Lawmaster, Ghost Rider's Hell Cycle, and Kanida's motorcycle from Akira. So yeah, Shade Tree Surgeon, thanks for putting this idea into my head. It's actually really fun to think about. And every one of you out there might want to consider making your own top 5 video of motorcycles that you can't buy for Shade Tree Surgeon. All right, if you like this one, give it a big old thumbs up. If you didn't, keep on trucking. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I would love to hear from you down in the comments below what you think about my list and what motorcycles you would have on yours. All right, rock on.